Hey guys, welcome to Limelight, where I try to shed light on everything Lyme. It's been a while since my last video. Apparently it's been almost or more than a year, which is crazy. So I was expecting to make more content and do more with this channel. I still hope that I will and that I can. So I wanted to get on here and just provide an update. Somebody asked what I'm doing now, so I'm just going to go through that in this video and what I'm taking as far as supplements. So basically, I'm in a great place. I feel like I've kind of gotten past all of the turmoil of Lyme. I'm still taking a few supplements, but not very many. I'm taking magnesium. Magnesium glycate, I think is what it's called. So I take one in the morning and I take two at night before bed. So I think it's about 320 milligram, but I'm not completely sure. I also take a fish oil every day, 2 in the morning. I take a very high quality HD fish oil, I think it is. I'll try to link these down below. I found both of these on Amazon. I used to go through somebody to get these, and I found that they were on Amazon. It just makes it way easier. I have it on a subscribe and save so that I don't even have to think about it. I start to run out and they show up, and so I do not miss taking my magnesium and my fish oil. I take that every single day. The other thing that I'm taking pretty consistently is vitamin D. Now that it's winter here, I'll take 2 of those every day. During the summer, I'll still take 1 every day. Apparently, we just don't get enough vitamin D. And so, as far as I've found, you can take quite a bit of it, and there's a bunch of benefits. Sounds like I probably would benefit from taking a vitamin B complex, but currently I'm not. That's probably something I should add. And just in general, there's lots of things that, of course, all of us could be taking that probably would have benefit. Kind of depends on what your pocketbook can handle and what you're up for. So I'm pretty fortunate. I'm able to get what I have, and I'm trying to be as minimal as I can just because of the cost. But if you've watched my second video, you saw how many supplements I was taking during my Lyme experience, and it was a ton of supplements, a ton of money, and it took a lot of time. So it took probably 4 or 5 months on all of those supplements to get my system kind of back and to start feeling good again. A lot of it is diet. I just recently went back in and had my labs done because over the summer I was having some episodes where I was getting, it's kind of hard to explain. It was almost like a cramp in my chest. So, but not really chest pain. It's like that feeling when you pass out, how you get all tingly and fuzzy. I was like having that experience in my chest, and I could feel it kind of bubbling up, and then 10, 20 seconds I could kind of feel it, or even a full minute I could feel it bubbling up, and then it would hit and it would just kind of explode, and it would send like nerve tingles through my arms, out from my chest. I'd get a little lightheaded, I'd get a little dizzy, and I'd have to sit down, and it usually would last, a good 30 seconds to a couple minutes. That tightness, kind of like when you get a cramp, would remain in my chest for a while, for probably 5-10 minutes. That's happened twice in one day over the summer. I actually went in and had an EKG done at urgent care, and it turned out fine. And then it happened a couple more times late summer into the fall, and so I went into my primary doctor and started kind of telling them what was going on. Of course, there's concerns with the heart, and so cardiovascular. So we got my labs done, and I actually did a stress test. So I got onto the treadmill and got hooked up and had to run, and I passed it. I passed it and did very well. So then they just called me back a week later and say, oh, you're all good. But my labs did come back. And so you guys know, like I run I run all this through AI now. I think AI is just a much better partner when it comes to kind of helping troubleshoot certain things that are going on and what are some possible things that could help. And so I'll just have conversations with AI back and forth. I upload my labs to AI. So on my labs, I have had high cholesterol in the past, and I still have high cholesterol, which in itself isn't necessarily bad, but this time we measured my ApoB, and that was high, and so that's not good. And so I've kind of refocused on my diet lately and been trying to eat clean, stay away from processed foods, try to stay away from sugar. And so I'm eating a lot of canned salmon and oatmeal and beans. As far as I can tell, the vegan or vegetarian diet still seems like it's probably the best for me anyways. I tend to feel the best with that. Meat kind of, especially with cholesterol and other things, tends to not do well for you or be good for you. And so at one point in the years and years ago, I went vegan for 9 months, and I felt great being vegan. This was prior to Lyme, but if you guys have ever heard of the blood type diet, I'm O negative, and so the blood type diet, apparently I should be a meat eater and mainly focused on that. So I don't really know with diet. I think it's important that you eat as clean as you can and unprocessed stuff. I think that will greatly help with reducing inflammation. So inflammation in our joints and our muscles and our body is a main contributor to all of the symptoms and the issues that we're having. And so I don't know what's going on with the chest stuff. I don't know what's going on with that. I kind of ended up empty-handed with that. Maybe it's anxiety and their panic attacks. That's pretty much what I'm chalking it up to right now. It could be Lyme-related. I don't know if it's Lyme-related, but I've got no real avenue from here. There's nothing the doctor's saying that I should do next. So I'm sure there are other things I could do, but I haven't really had those episodes now for a couple months. So I'm just going to keep eating clean and trying to exercise. Exercise, I think, is super important. The more that we can get our body to sweat, the more that I think we're going to help with that inflammation and release any potential toxins that are in there. Another thing that I still do pretty consistently is I sit in my infrared sauna. So I actually purchased an infrared sauna and put it here at my office. I know not everybody's able to do that, but I think as much as you can do that heat therapy in whatever way that you can, I think it is helpful, beneficial. And then I've also, with the high cholesterol and the heart stuff and these recent labs, I've been trying to work on HIIT training, high interval intermediate training, which basically should help with our VO2 max, which is our body's ability to process oxygen and turn it into energy into our blood, I think. I'm no expert on any of this stuff, but I watch a lot of videos and try to listen to as much as I can. So other than that, I'm not doing a whole lot. I think it's very important that we have a very balanced life and that we are very careful about what we're consuming, not just the food that we're eating, but also the information and the environment that we're in. I don't think social media is beneficial. I don't think that, watching all of these things that could create trauma or stress in our bodies is good. It's so easy to get onto Facebook or YouTube Shorts and just start scrolling, the doom scrolling, and within the matter of minutes we can watch and experience traumatic things that we would normally not see for an entire lifetime. And I think that does have an effect on our body and the stress that we're carrying around, even if we don't realize it. And so I try to be careful about what I'm consuming. from that stance, and I just stay focused on trying to be well and live well. I know Lyme is just a huge head game, so it's super important to keep your head straight, to keep hope in your spirit, and to focus on what's good around you every day and just find the things that you can be grateful for. When I was going through my Lyme experience, I thought I was shutting down. I thought my body was shutting down. I thought my life was coming to an end. And so it just really got to me. And I ended up in a pretty dark place because of that. And so I think it's super important to keep good perspective on the situation, not overinflate things, and keep hope, because the fact is I'm feeling like I'm myself again, and it took a long while, and it hasn't been super easy. Sorry about that. The phone's ringing, but yeah, I think if you can keep hope and keep going, I think there's a very good chance that anybody can get through this. I know that everybody's situation and case is a little bit different, but I've just come across so many stories of Lyme where the person is doing well, and so I've got 4 different people at my kids' school that have had Lyme and experienced Lyme to varying degrees, some of them fairly significant. The principal at our kids' school, I believe when she was a teenager or young adult, had Lyme, and it got so bad she was in a wheelchair. I think she was in a wheelchair for quite a period of time, and now she's running a school, and she's doing well as far as I can tell. So I think we'll always have some of the residual, post-treatment Lyme disease stuff going on at different degrees. I still get foggy sometimes. My body feels like it's much older than I feel like it should be feeling. I'm 46, and sometimes I feel like I'm in the body of a 66-year-old. I just feel like I have aches and pains and things like that. And so I think it's super important to keep your body moving, to keep your mind motivated towards a positive, and to find those things that work, that bring peace in your life, and that take stress out of your body. So stay away from sugar, and keep that inflammation down, and just life is worth living. I think that's the main message that you have to grab a hold of when you're in the midst of the darkness of the Lyme, is that it's worth living, and that this too shall pass. Whatever suffering or state that you're in, it will pass. Now, of course, I can say one way or another, but like I've said, I've been finding that it passes in a way that we get healthy again and better again. And so I just encourage everybody, be in that place, be in that headspace, and stay positive. That's the main and most important thing. If you guys have any other specific questions or things you want to know, please comment. Let me know. I'm for sure look into the comments. I've only got like 3 videos, and so this isn't a big channel or nothing, but I know that the Lyme community is out there, and if I can be of any help, I'd like to. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.